today we have a special guest. Her name is Shelia Horvath, and she is the owner of The Market at Victory House, along with
Heavenly Treats for You.
Heavenly Treats for You. If you are not aware of what she does, you're in for a treat. She supplies corporate gifts. She does baskets, but also she has a storefront, and it is, I get a little overwhelmed when I get in there because I want everything, and it just specialty gifts, the cutest things you can possibly imagine. She's at the Victory House in Smyrna on Eden Springs Road. And Sheila, give us a little story, little background of how you got started and all of your entrepreneurial.
Well, it is quite a story. About 15 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom, and our church was going through a transition of our pastors was retiring, and I'm really not even exactly sure how I got the position of gifting to all of the staff. So I started doing unique gift baskets, and we would do their birthdays and any kind of celebrations. And then I would do the visiting ministers, and I would go and I'd put all kinds of fun stuff in a basket and deliver it to a hotel. And one of the hotels saw it. And so the church staff calls me up and said, "Hey, do you have a business card?" And I'm thinking, no, I don't. And they said, "The hotel wants your business card." So that's how Heavenly Treats for You became that week. We decided that week that we were going into business. And fast forward, and now we have a storefront, and we're doing corporate gifting, and all because I just had this unique knack of putting things together that look different than anybody else's.
So when you started that, though, you were just an online sales, correct?
Actually, I didn't even know what online was back then because everybody kept telling me you need to get online. And I was very resistant because I was doing custom gifts. So I did lots of baby shower gifts. A lot of the people in the church would have me do gifts. Well, I would show up at the showers and I would have all these people's gifts. And then when the girl would open it up, she'd say, "Oh, Sheila did this." So I finally thought, no, they paid me to do this. So I would just deliver the gifts along with my gift. They all looked different, all were unique. And then I would leave because I didn't want them to be thanking me because
you didn't want to steal their thunder.
Yeah. So it was really kind of strange. And so everybody kept saying, "You need to make this online." So we had a landing page at first, and fast forward, we had a corporate move. My husband moved us to the Memphis area, and I thought, okay, I'm going to rethink this business model. So then I started trying to do more of like a repeat of something. Still couldn't get the mode because I wanted everything to be really unique. So I still didn't have the concept that I needed to really go with it to make it be successful, I think. And so we were there 3 years, and fast forward, we got moved to Nashville. And that's when it really clicked because I thought, okay, third time's charm. I keep restarting this business every time we move. And you don't realize that happens, but you do. Yeah. I still had people from Texas calling me. I still had people from Memphis calling me to do gifts. But when we moved to the Nashville area, I took a little bit of time off. I said, let me figure out what's here. And I realized that there was so much, everybody was so proud of their artisan gifts, the goo-goos, the moon pies, the willow shortbreads. And so I just started thinking, how can I make this where I can do a corporate gift that is replicated? So that's kind of where it started, was I just started really thinking, how can I make this easier? Because I'm out here spinning my wheels shopping, which, hey, it was fun, but I wasn't making any money.
So go into a little bit about like the specialty things that are Middle Tennessee oriented, like the goo-goos and things like that.
So we try to get local artisans. So I try to find anybody that has something that is really good. So I started with the goo-goos, moon pies, Lynchburg's cake and candy company. They did a whiskey ball. So that was one of my first vendors. Brittle Brothers is another local brittle that is just amazing. They have been really wonderful to work with. Willow shortbread, that's another great product. And they have savory and sweet. sweet. So that kind of helps with putting together a gift. And then we just kind of saw how the culture of Nashville was. And that's when we decided to do this signature gift, which is our guitar case. Yeah. And that's been our top seller. In our custom boxes that we can do with a postcard, and we can customize that. And so a lot of corporate companies loved having just a taste of Nashville or a taste of Tennessee that they can send.
I'm sure with a lot of people that visit here, especially, I mean, we have a huge visitors center and all of the things in Nashville, and of course here in Rutherford County as well.
Yeah, sure.
But that guitar case, it's not a huge, it's a guitar case that's
a
packed
replica,
full of goodies.
Exactly.
And it is really, really a cool concept, especially when it's packed full of the most amazing things. But you also have other things that other than just food items.
Right. So that's when we started doing the storefront, because we had people coming to pick up their gifts. And then they said, well, can we shop here? So I thought, okay, what can I have that would be different? So we started doing, again, we were still thinking of that tourist feel. So we started having mugs that said Nashville. Then we had bottle openers and coasters made to fit that. And then it just started, people wanted like spa products and baby products. So that's kind of where the storefront ended up coming in. Is then I thought, okay, I'm going to shop for just somebody to come in and buy maybe a candle or, a gift, or we can put together something. So that's
what's your best seller? Do you know? Or a couple of best sellers?
I would say it's the guitar cases, the signature gifts, the music. Welcome to Music Row. Our custom little Nashville treats, which are in a gable box. Those are that's the most economical for companies. And then we do custom boxes. But then we have gourmet, and I think we made one of the things for you guys when y'all had your grand opening, the custom gourmet tray, which is your charcuterie items. And we have some beautiful, wonderful dips and crackers and cheese and things like that, shelf stable. And those are wonderful. So it's hard to say, because, it just depends on their budget of what they're going to do. So,
well, I know at Christmas time, it's one of the best places to go. She not just decorates, but everything. Of course, she has her Christmas items in there, or holiday items in there, and it's just, they're unique, and it's fun to shop it. And the kitchen item, I mean, just anything you can imagine is in there. I just am like, it's fantastic.
I'm immediately thinking about the holidays are coming, Thanksgiving, Christmas. If you have family coming in, what a great idea to have something there for family.
Well, and we have so many people that are relocating. Us in the real estate for a closing gift is great. I actually have one right down here that we closed, and they were just from Knoxville, but I gave them a Music City something, and it goes over big.
It does, yeah. And the beauty of the having the storefront is it introduces people. Smyrna is a wonderful little town, right? And Rutherford County is great. Coming from Williamson County, we had our business in our home, so it's opened up a whole nother world for me, because we did a lot for Nashville. We did a lot for Williamson County. And so when we relocated the business to the Victory House, it opened up another avenue. And I think for Smyrna, they didn't have a quaint little boutique shop.
No. They had some. They've come and gone.
They've come and gone. And so being that the Victory House has such history, people have wanted to come in there, but didn't have a reason because of it was a law office. And if you didn't need to go to a lawyer, then you didn't want to go walk in the building. Right. So now it has opened up an avenue for them to come in and see the building. Yeah. And then when they do walk in, they're just blown away by the fact that we have so many unique things. And that is probably the thing that we get told the most is you have such unique and such a variety that people will, very rarely do we have somebody just walk in really quick and leave. Now, it could be two things. They're rushed, or they're so overwhelmed that that this is not their thing.
Well, and I think they know that they're looking for a specific item, whether they're not sure what that item is, they want that uniqueness, or they want something that says Nashville, Rutherford County, Smyrna, whatever it may
Right.
be. So they know what they're looking for.
Exactly.
And they know that you've got something in there.
They do. And then they come in. I had one lady that came in, and this is another reoccurring comment that we get is she walked in and she said, I had a lot of cares that I was carrying. And she said, but when I walked in this door, and she was with a friend that had brought her, she said, it was like I was here for maybe 2 or 3 minutes looking around. She said, I just felt like the weight dropped away. And she said, I just enjoyed just being lost in the moment.
Wow.
And I thought that was perfect.
I mean,
that
what a
solidified why I needed to have the
Huge
storefront.
compliment.
Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you touched on the history of the Victory House. That is definitely, even from my childhood growing up there, that the house has always been there and always had a rich history. And fun fact, I actually took my real estate course there.
Oh, fun.
So
Yes,
one of the
yes.
lawyers was partnered with a broker, and he did classes upstairs. And
Upstairs.
so that was kind of fun.
So for anybody that is not familiar with the Victory House, maybe just touch on the Victory House.
So the Victory House is a home that has been there since 1900. So it's over 100 years old. And the uniqueness of it is it was a home place, so it was like a farm. And then it became a doctor's office. Now, this is things that people have come in and told me. It became a doctor's office for some time. And then Lee Victory, when their property, I guess when the lake went in, their property got taken, yes. And so they came into Smyrna and purchased that property. And so it became the Lee Victory Home Place. And so lots of political history has happened there. The fish fries.
Yes.
We actually had some of their family members come by, and she brought me a lot of news clippings about who all was there. Al Gore had been there, and I'm not rich in Tennessee history because of being from Texas. But there was lots of people that had been in the political world came there for those fish fries.
Interesting.
And so it's really interesting to have their family come in and tell us about it. And we do. We welcome them. We're like, come on in. Even though we're in the back with production, it gets a little crazy, but we will, if they want to go back and see everything, we let them walk through and just kind of relive, the stories.
So Lee Victory's granddaughter is the mayor of Smyrna, Maresa Morrow.
Yes.
So that political still came along with the family.
It did, yes.
So
yes.
lots of good history. And the house is very unique.
It is,
Very unique.
and the nice thing about it is we're giving back to the community because we're we try to make sure it looks pleasing to when they drive by, and that's what we've been told is, oh my gosh, you've brought life to the building again, because I assume that they used to decorate it up for Christmas and things like that, and that was one of the things that Mary Esther said. It is wonderful to drive by and see that you've brought life to it. And that was exactly what we wanted. We hope to have the barn. We'll probably end up having to tear it down just because it is old. And I spoke with her about that and said, hey, talk to the family and just let them know that we may need to tear it down. They're like, we're surprised it's even standing. So we're going to take some, when that happens, hopefully sooner than later, we'll take some of that wood and bring it into whatever we build back there. But we'd like to put our production back there for the Heavenly Treats for You, and then turn the rest of the building into more retail. Yeah. That's our goal.
There's a lot of artists who'd like to get their hands on that barnwood.
Yes,
yes, for sure.
Really
exactly,
cool.
exactly.
For sure.
But,
you were sharing with us too some interesting stories, and here we are at Halloween about from a ghostly realm that sounds like so much fun.
So it is interesting. The first couple of weeks that we were there, of course, the funny thing is nobody knew we'd bought the building. So we used to have people coming up looking for the attorneys all the time. But one of the attorneys stayed, Miss Ingrid Klaus, stayed for over a year. Almost 2 years, I guess, she rented from us. But I'll never forget, I came there and I had noticed the light in the upstairs was on, and I thought, how crazy is that? I don't remember going up there. So later that day, Mr. Tom came through, Ingrid's husband, and so it was kind of funny. I said, hey, Tom, I said, were you upstairs? And he said, no. I said, well, there was a light on, and I just thought that was weird. Nobody had been up there, and I'd been the only one in the building. So he said, "Oh, that's Mr. Lee." And I said, so I thought to myself, "Oh, is that one of the attorneys that used to be here?"
That's what I would have thought.
I did. And he goes, "No." He said, "That's the ghost." And so they've told me stories about their, things moving, papers rustling or whatever. So I thought, it was kind of like, okay, that's weird. So I went up there and I turned the light off. And when I went in there at first, there was some disturbance to the desk that we had brought up there because they had left a bunch of desks and things. And the drawer was open and a card was sitting on the thing, on the top of the desk. And I thought, that's odd. So I turn all the lights off and I go out and then a couple of days later, like in the back, we were doing something and the light flickered. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange. And so finally, I just kind of walked around the building and said, "Look, I don't know who you are, what's going on, but, I've got to work here sometimes late.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that you're here. If you are here, you've lived here probably a long time, but if you're not a Holy Ghost, which is what I believe in, then I don't want to know you're here." So we've had, and we joke now, and I don't know if it's anything, crazy, but sometimes the front door, when guests will come in or clients will come in, they don't always shut the door completely. And so the wind will catch it and there goes the door. So we always joke and say, "Oh, Mr. Lee's coming to visit," But recently we did have a niece of his came to visit. She was very emotional when she came in, and because she had not been there since, I guess, they'd passed. And so we, I welcomed her, told her, just walk around, feel. Well, she got one of my other ladies that worked for us off to the side and was telling her about Mr. Lee and just some, some stories and things. And so when we got up to I guess something had moved back there. When they were talking, something fell over. So she said, "Oh, that was Mr. Lee." And Karen was like, "Oh, yeah, we joke about him walking in the front door." And so, but I don't know they've had this conversation, right? So I go up there to check her out, and I'm checking her out, and we had gotten an award from the Art Helps Cancer, which is a group in Nolensville that we sponsor to help cancer victims and things like that. And it was a little glass thing, and it just fell off my stand. And I thought, and she just jumped, and she goes, "There he is." And I didn't catch on what she was saying. I said, "Oh, what in the world fell?" And I pick it back up and put it up. Well, after she leaves, Karen says, she really thinks Mr. Lee is walking around knocking stuff over. And I just said, "Oh my gosh," So that's our little story is, I don't know if it is him or what, but, as long as he doesn't make a big deal, we're fine. I don't know that I want anybody coming hanging out at night to see him, but
obviously he hasn't, so he's probably pretty happy with the way things are going.
Exactly,
and the fact that you're there.
That's it, and we try to take good care of it, and so.
So, do you all have any upcoming events for the holidays?
So we do. We've got some classes, and they would need to go to our website. We have events, HeavenlyTreats4U.com, and there's a page that tells about the Victory House and events, and they can sign up for events. We've got a charcuterie class that's going to be on the 29th.
Oh, fun.
We've got limited space, but it is a fun class because I go through what you can make a charcuterie board. This time we're going to talk about little jars or unique ways that you can put it in containers, because sometimes you don't want to have to graze off of a table, but you might want something in your hand that's easier to eat. So we're going to talk about that. And then we've got a holiday wreath class coming up in November. We have our holiday open house that's going to be 1st of November, and forgive me, I don't remember the dates, but check my website or
website,
Facebook. Heavenly Treats for You, and our socials are Heavenly Treats for You at the Market at Victory House. We tried not to do 2 pages because it was just too much. So,
well, that excites me. The because I do a lot of entertaining over the holidays, and so the charcuterie
best parties.
Anything I could.
Yeah, so we're going to teach you how to make those little rosettes that you see, and just different ways of, folding your meat and cutting your cheese and things like that. It's just a fun night. We had a basket and bows class in the spring, and the fun thing about that one, we were approached because they couldn't, a lady had a group of women that they get together about once every quarter. Mm-hmm. And so she said, nobody can come the night you're doing this. Would you offer a private event? And I said, sure, tell me when. And so we hosted that. So we will host some private events if you want to get your group of friends, or you have a book club or something like that you want to have a fun event.
That's a great idea.
Just call us. We'll see if we can come up with a date that will work.
Because I know over the years people have said, hey, do you know of any place? I don't need these big places. I need something small and more economical than the big warehouses.
Sure.
So that's fantastic news. I'm excited about all that, and especially the open house. Because that's something we definitely need to look up and find out.
Well, and I'll tell you one other thing that's fun for us is people will walk in the doors, especially realtors will do this too. They've got that closing and they're like, do you have anything? So sometimes we'll have things on the shelf for you to take, or if you've got a few minutes, just pull some things together. We'll make it into a basket really quick and give it to you. So it's a one-stop shopping. You can come buy one thing, or you can come and buy a group of things, or we can build you some baskets to take. So we just try to make it easy, because that's what life is right now. We all need easy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they've got just fantastic. I can't tell you enough awesome things that are in that shop. Sheila, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited.
Do you want to share the website or?
Yes, so it's HeavenlyTreats4U.com, and we've got our socials. It is Heavenly Treats for You, and it is the number 4, the letter U. Okay. So that does make a little difference. At the Market at Victory House. So we are on all the socials. What else? Hopefully someday we'll have a YouTube channel so we can do some tips and tricks, because I have done that on my socials where I showed them how to put little ribbons in the Christmas tree when we were decorating it the other day.
That's a great idea.
And so people are asking me to teach them how to make bows. And there's a funny story about my Sheila bow, which I got labeled that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just easy. I do everything easy, whatever's the easiest way.
Easy.
Yeah. And our little slogan is, we take the stress out of gifting. So
I love that.
Whatever we can do to make it easy on, corporate event planners, whatever it is, real estate, whatever, we want to make it easy for you.
Love that.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for having me.
It's so nice to meet you, finally.
I know.
I've heard such great things.
Y'all were in that circle of, we know each other. Do we know each other?
Yes.
We kind of know each other.
Yes.
So. But if you all need any kind of corporate gift or even a personal gift, she's the place to go. Check her out, Heavenly Sweets for You.